profits from that source will have to shrink as well. Still, Chase's total after-tax profit last year was $50 billion, a new record in U.S. banking, but it's nowhere near the highest profit of any U.S. company. That would be $100 billion earned by Apple in 2022. I'm Jeff Colvin.
Rutherford Issues with Brian Barrett on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna, and streaming at WGNSradio.com.
Rutherford Issues is powered by Middle Tennessee Electric. Their charitable foundation, Sharing Change, is funded by members who round up their electric bill to the nearest dollar each month as a donation and support hundreds of nonprofits. You can find out more at sharingchange.org. We're going to find out more about Rutherford County PAWS today. And joining us, of course, Gracie Hill, the public relations specialist, and a special guest, a brand new face around Rutherford County PAWS that we're going to introduce you to today. Gracie, first of all, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Doing good, doing good. I hope you're staying warm.
We are. And you know what? PAWS is going to be open today. So if you guys are looking to adopt, we are ready.
Oh, good. Well, I mean,
yes.
It's a snow day, so you need something to do, right?
It is a snow day, and the shelter pets are having fun out there playing in the snow.
I can imagine. That's probably maybe a first-time experience for some of those.
Oh, yeah. We had our husky Diego out there yesterday. He was having a blast for sure.
I found that our dogs like to eat the snow.
You know what? My dog was doing the same thing, and I just tried to keep her away from, her, yellow snow.
Yeah. Yes. But, I mean, they were just like vacuum cleaners out there, and it's like, come on. It's like, do you not have enough to drink? But, I mean, they just really enjoyed it, and one of them had it all in her little beard, and it was kind of fun. So.
Oh, it was, yes.
I mean, we, as humans, enjoy snow days, and so do our pets. So, tell me about Rutherford County PAWS. What is it that you do, so we can introduce you to maybe some of the community that don't know what Rutherford County PAWS is all about?
Yeah, so PAWS is Rutherford County's pet adoption and welfare service. So we are a government facility. We provide a wide range of services we offer to the community, from animal control services to our surgery program. Today, we're mainly going to be focusing on our foster and volunteer program, and we also do, low-cost vaccines and things like that to help out.
Well, you mentioned that we're going to be focusing on fostering and volunteering, and it just so happens that you have a brand new person to introduce us to today.
Yeah, so for this interview, I wanted to focus on introducing our new foster and volunteer coordinator, Evan, and talk about his big plans for the program this year. He knows everything there is to know about PAWS. He has actually worked here for a year and a half, so he started as an animal care technician. He's assisted with events, shelter meds, adoptions, evaluations, just so many fun things around the shelter. So we're really excited that he's now taking on this role and helping our shelter grow with foster and volunteers. So his huge heart for animals has shown through his work and dedication, and we are just so excited to welcome Evan Curtis.
All right. Well, without further ado, what a build-up, Evan. And the Grammy goes too, right?
Yeah, I don't know how I can live up to that, but I'm glad for you having me here.
Yeah.
I just wanted to talk a little bit about what I've got planned, basically a little bit about our program. And as Gracie said, I have worked here for about a year and a half, and I have always had a passion for volunteering. So when the position came open, I applied, and even though I'm still kind of working a little bit of both right now, I figured I would get started on getting myself known by the community.
So kind of what did you do as an animal care technician? Kind of walk us through that.
Well, it's a little bit of everything is the short answer.
Okay.
But we basically help run everything that needs to be done daily for the in-house tasks, actually in the shelter with the animals. So we have inventories that we do, which are as they sound. We're making sure that all the animals are, where they belong. But we also do behavioral evaluations in the morning when we do that to keep track of how they're doing, any behaviors that we notice that we might want to address, anything that shows that they might be having other issues going on, like medical, or there's a specific stressor that we can alleviate. to make sure that they're having a better time here. And then, of course, the most apparent thing that we do that the public sees the most is that we are the ones who process adoptions, any sort of complaints that come to the shelter themselves. Or if there is another event going on, we do paperwork for rescues. We help out when Gracie holds these big parties for us, and definitely we appreciate that. And other than that, it's just a little bit of just then helping around. We help the ACOs, sometimes the animal control officers, with situations, and also we do scheduling a bit. So sometimes you'll hear us on the phone too.
Wow. That's a big job that covers just about everything. So,
Yeah.
well, my point about that is you have been around PAWS, and so this seems like kind of a natural progression and something that you're obviously passionate about since you've been there. So kind of talk to us about this role as the volunteer coordinator and foster coordinator, and why did you want to do this? And obviously it seems like you're really excited about it.
Yes, I am really excited about it. Generally, what the foster and volunteer coordinator does is that they're the liaison between our upper management and the volunteers themselves. We make sure that the volunteers and fosters feel comfortable, feel prepared for the work that they do for us. That includes training, onboarding, counseling, if they have like a specific problem that they are wanting to see addressed, or if they have concerns about a specific animal. In my general day-to-day, it'll mostly be looking like making sure all the volunteers have got what they need for their shifts, making sure that new volunteers are getting accepted and brought in, so going over the program with them, and then training new volunteers for more specific tasks. For instance, with our dog walking, we have different levels of dogs depending on their particularities. Say, for instance, they like to pull a little bit harder on the leash and they're strong, or they like to get really, really excited about getting out and might brush past you. They have a slightly higher difficulty rating, and we have trainings to help them feel more confident, more independent in that. And then for the foster program, it's basically just being there in case anything happens. Our foster program is only for neonates, which are bottle babies, newborns, who can't feed themselves. So that can come with a lot of stress, a lot of concerns, and my job is to be there if they've got those. In fact, I'm on call, so any hour of the day, the fosters can get in contact with me and ask any questions, concerns that they might have. But that's basically what the position is in a nutshell. Of course, I will know a little bit better when I'm been working it for a couple of months, but based off of my previous knowledge and, what I knew when I applied to it, that's pretty much it.
Well, I would ask you what you do in your free time, but nothing. I can, if you're doing kind of juggling both at the moment.
Yeah, free time's a little bit scarce right now, but I'm happy to be doing it. I'm really excited. The energy's coming easily, and I'm just really ready to get going and get started.
Yeah. Joining us today from Rutherford County PAWS, Gracie Hill. She's the public relations specialist, and the new foster and volunteer coordinator, Evan Curtis, joining us today. So, Evan, let's talk about. I know you probably haven't had a long time to sit and think about massive changes, but what are some things that you're going to bring to this, maybe in terms of the volunteer program and some enhancements that you'd like to look at?
So main things, a couple of things I'm just going to bring up that I have seen that I want to change just a little bit is we have a lot of interest in just temporary volunteering. College students, because we are a college town, the Tennessee Promise Scholarship, the one that funds the majority of their tuition, does require community service hours. Mm-hmm. And we have a lot of them coming in wanting to do a couple hours at a time for a short period just to fulfill the requirements. but our onboarding process right now isn't really conducive to that because it's more geared about having these long-term volunteers, more adults who are like you think around middle age, already settled in their career, that have this time and they want to do something with their free time. I'm wanting to make a structure in which I can have them come in those short bursts of hours when it's available for them. And additionally, I was thinking about possibly starting a program in which I would have signups for several different volunteers, not necessarily students, whoever was interested, and had a big volunteer day in which we would do a larger project or get through a larger workload of something that we needed to prepare. Say, for instance, creating adoption folders. We also make little, I like to call them popsicles. They're these frozen enrichment treats, but we have these little silicone molds. It's kind of time consuming, but having volunteers to help with those helps a whole lot, and I know the dogs appreciate it. So that's the first thing that I kind of want to work on changing. Additionally, I have noticed that we have been a little bit short on our dog walkers as of late, and I would love to have more people coming in and taking these dogs out on walks so they don't have to stay in the kennel for as long as they have been recently. We, of course, try to do the best we can on taking them out, but due to us having a billion other things we've got to do in the day, sometimes we don't take them out as much as we would like. So I'm going to be probably pushing a little bit more on social media, working with Gracie about recruiting some volunteers for that and getting them going through the dog training program, dog walking training program.
Well, so as we're going forward here, and we've got like 3 or 4 minutes or so left, I thought it would give you the opportunity to maybe talk about some opportunities for volunteers, and hopefully someone out there is listening and looking for a place to volunteer, and they're an animal lover, and boy, this would be a perfect fit. So maybe some things that are coming up, ways to get involved.
Of course. You are always welcome to come into the shelter and take a look around. If I'm here during the week, you can always ask the upfront staff and see if I'm available to talk to you if you are specifically interested in volunteering. Additionally, we do have some events coming up. We have a Bissell Pet Foundation Clear the Shelters event that happens about quarterly. And then in more community-based kind of think about it a little bit more like fall festival-esque events. We have the PAWS Pet Fest coming up in early spring, between winter and spring. And then we've got the Doggone Adoption event. And if you missed that last year, it was a blast. Is going to be coming up more in like the solid spring area. We're still working on nailing those dates down specifically, but we should be posting on our social media soon with more information about that. And along those lines, if you love helping out with events, love talking to people, we always take volunteers to help run these events as well. Greeting people, giving out information, explaining a little bit about what's going on. We will always take any help that you are willing to give us. But if you're looking for a little bit more animal orientated, of course, we have our dog walkers, but we also have cat care. So if you're interested in our more feline friends, you can hang out with them back in the adoption area, give them some enrichment, some playing, some just attention. If they're a little nervous, it helps them socialize it a little bit more and kind of wow their potential adopters a little bit better. And then we also have shelter care as one of our volunteer positions. That's more working on the behind the scenes, working on organization, creating dog enrichment, possibly reorganizing an area. If you love organization, that's probably the area you want to go. And then we have a more office data entry position, which is actually inputting rabies tag information from your vaccinations that you get at the vet, that little metal tag that actually gets brought back to us. as a county centralized record, but we get it in paper, and we'd prefer to have it in our digital system. And we have some volunteers come in who work on that. Of course, that's a position that is a little bit more lengthy in time to get to because, of course, you are working with people's private information.
Right.
So you are going to be going through a bit more of a onboarding background check type of process with that position.
Well, Evan, it's been great talking to you today, and anytime we can help spread the word about volunteerism, fostering, that kind of thing, let us know, and we've got a kind of a standing order here with Gracie, and I'm sure she'd love to have you on anytime. And Gracie, thanks for joining us well today.
Well, thank you so much for having me. It was a blast, and I look forward to coming back next month and talk about Spay and Neuter Awareness Month.
All right. Sounds good. All right. Our friends from Rutherford County PAWS joining us today. Gracie Hill, the Public Relations Specialist, and the new Foster and Volunteer Coordinator, Evan Curtis, here on Rutherford Issues. Don't forget, go to WGNSradio.com/listen to see where you can hear your favorite WGNS shows live and on demand, and you can even watch on Big G TV. Check it out.
Greetings, friends. This is Lenny Farmer with the Jennings & Ayers Funeral Home in Murfreesboro. If you ever had to deal with the final arrangements of a loved one, funerals are both emotional and financial. You can easily be drained both ways when you least expect it. I can help you in both